This is the plaintiff, Maxine Taylor. Tanya Isaac Taylor is here representing her 90-year-old mother and says the defendant did a jerry curl on her hair and did a horrible job. The woman doesn't have the ability to fix it, and she's here suing for the $1,575 the defendant refuses to refund her. This is the defendant, Beverly Fox. She says she doesn't owe the plaintiff a refund. She did the mom's hair. It looked perfect when she left the salon, and she's happy to do her hair again, but she needs to be paid for it because she doesn't work for free. She's accused of a hair catastrophe.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff went to the defendant to get a jerry curl from the so-called defendant, who is a professional hairdresser, says did a terrible job and wants her money back. But the defendant says the plaintiff's hair looked perfect when she left the salon. She has no idea why the woman suddenly decided her hair doesn't look good. It's the case of a real bad hair day.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Ms. Taylor, you are suing Ms. Fox for $1,575 that you say she owes over a bad jerry curl. And Ms. Tanya Taylor, you're her daughter, and you would like to have permission to tell the story because your mother is 90 years old, correct?
Yes, Your Honor. On July 22nd, I took my mother to the J&W Barbershop in Lancaster, California, for Mrs. Fox to give her a jerry curl. And at the end of the processing, which Mrs. Fox stated that she did not want to cut her hair because I requested to cut the ends of the hair, and she said it would be uneven. So we left and went home. Around the 24th of July, I noticed that her hair, it had begun to look stringy even before we left. That's why I requested for her to cut it. So I texted Mrs. Fox and asked her, can you take a look at my mother's hair? And Mrs. Fox responded, I can cut her ends when I get back.
Okay. And
no problem.
So let me just back up a second. When your mom was there,
yes, Your Honor,
she paid how much money?
$75, Your Honor.
And that was for the jerry curl?
That was for the jerry curl and the cutting as well.
But then why would you pay for a cut if there wasn't a cut that day? That's why it sounds to me like it was only for the jerry curl.
For the jerry curl and with the cut, because this is what she did before.
Because on a prior occasion, you paid $75 and got a cut?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So now you call her, you text her that you want to bring your mom in because it's looking stringy, and what does she say?
Basically, she can cut her hair when she gets back, and there's no problem. And there was no mention of a fee, Your Honor.
Okay. Then she comes back from whatever vacation it is, and then she tells you, according to you, for the first time, that it'll be $15 to cut her hair.
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct.
And instead of paying $15 and having your mom's haircut, you paid $50 to file a case in court to sue for $1,575.
That is correct.
Okay, why?
Well, basically, because in the beginning, when Mrs. Fox started to do her hair, there was never a mention of any other fee until after she returned from her vacation and stated that this is going to be the price now. That's why I'm quoting it to you now. Well, you never said that the first time you did it at the beginning of the year, nor did you say it when we were in the shop to get her hair done the second time.
Right. But so then why aren't you suing for $15 haircut that you feel you were cheated out of? Instead of suing for $15, you're suing for $1,575. How does a $15 case become $1,575?
Because my mother suffered through waiting for her, and she basically would not even respond. I texted this woman 3 times.
Okay. Ms. Fox, let's go to you. What's going on here?
She came to the shop on that day, July 22nd, an hour and a half late. That means her time was running into my next client's time. Okay, I did the process. I did her jerry curl. Everything was fine. Tanya stayed there the whole time. So at the end of the process, she said her ends need to be cut. I can just clip those ends. I said, no, you just can't clip them like that. You're going to make it uneven. So she left the shop.
So I'm not sure what you're saying, that you ran out of time to do her haircut?
No, I didn't run out of time. She was running into my next client.
Right. No, I meant
an hour and a half late.
No, I don't mean it's your fault you ran out of time. I mean, are you saying that because they were late, you ran out of time and otherwise you would have given her a haircut?
Maybe so, but I still would have charged her this time the $15.
Why does she think that haircuts are free? If the Jerry curl is 70, okay, but according to her, you gave her a free haircut one time or something. What happened there?
At the very beginning, I said, I'll go ahead and do it this time because I wanted them to be a repeated client. So I went on ahead and clipped the ends without charging them that time. So the next time she came to get her Jerry curl done, nothing was wrong. She left the shop. Now, this is the third time that I did it on July 22nd. By this time, her ends need to be clipped again. So yes, she did text me while I was on vacation, and I did respond to her and say, I will take care of it when I get off vacation. And we were going back and forth with the text messages. I said, it's going to be $15 to cut her ends, and by now she needs a shampoo, which is $25. That's an old Jerry curl. That's old. Those are from the very first one.
Okay, but this is a picture attached to this text that says the new growth looks unprocessed, to which you answer, I can cut her ends when I get back, no problem. And July 29, what dates can we come back from mom's hair? And you say you're on vacation. That does look like the last time. In any event, just answer something for me. How much do you charge for a Jerry curl?
I charge $75 and up. But Tanya kept bullying me. She kept trying to bully me. We'll just talk about it, when I come in. No, we're not going to talk about it when you come in. We're going to talk about it over the phone now or the text message. That's why I told. Well, I'm just going to, by this time we calling each other, talking to each other over the phone. I'll just be at your shop tomorrow.
And so she goes to the shop, and what happens?
She came in and she just stared at me. And I said, hi, Tanya. And then she mumbled, hi. And then she goes back out and she gets her mother. And they come in the shop and they sit there for about a good 40 minutes. And I'm working on another client, and the shop is full of clients and operators. So when she seen me just about finished with my next client, she goes, Beverly, can I talk to you for a minute? And I said, no. And then she was like, well, I'll sit here and I'll talk to you. And then she started rambling off about her mother wasn't pleased and she ain't pleased and you said this, and she was just rumbling off on a bunch of stuff. And she asked me for my license number, and I told her no again. And she kept going, and she was getting louder and louder and louder. So by this time, the owner of the shop came in the front, and he talks to her, and he asks her to leave.
All righty. I think I've got it. So, Ms. Taylor, did you, in fact, actually pay $50 to file this case over $15?
Yes.
Really? Why? Because it's not about the $15, it's about the principal?
It's about the principal, exactly.
I love
May I say something, Your Honor?
I just love small claims.
May I say something, Your Honor?
Because it is never about the money. It is always about the principal. I love it. Yes, I live for the moment, Tanya Taylor. Go ahead.
Your Honor, when she was stating that she did her hair, and if you notice, when she gave her testimony, she said she fixed it. And this was the third time. And she is correct, because when she did it the first time, I had to bring her back and she completely redid the process. So she is leaving that out.
Ms. Taylor, what am I supposed to glean from that? Because you obviously brought your mother back 2 more times after that. So it didn't bother you. But, she doesn't work for free. And just because she threw in a haircut one time doesn't mean that she has to throw it in all the time. Do you have any evidence that a Jerry curl costs less than $75?
Well, I don't have evidence per se from other stylists, but generally when you give a style to a senior, I have talked to other stylists from different stylists from LA to Lancaster, and they would charge her $55, and her fee is her fee of $75, but that included all the processing of the style.
Sure, all the processing of the style. That's not a haircut, though. That's separate. You're talking to somebody who gets their hair done all the time. You pay for each service. So you have to pay the $15 for a haircut. You have no evidence that it was included in the $75.
Well, Your Honor, she stated in her text that basically it would be no problem to cut her hair.
Of course, it's
And there
no
was
problem. You just got to pay the $15. That doesn't mean it's free.
But she didn't say that, Your Honor, in the beginning. She said that when she returned from her
Ms.
vacation.
Taylor, I am ruling in favor of Ms. Fox in this case. Good luck.
So these cases are interesting because it really has to do with whether a hairdresser did a professional job. If you think that your hairdresser didn't, the key is taking photos immediately. And if it's okay the first day and then starts to unravel, take photos as soon as you see the problem. The longer you wait, the more it's going to look like it's on you and not on the hairdresser.
Which one of you asked the other on a date first?
It was me who asked you on a date first, right? That's the way I remember it.
Wait, you're asking me? Are you answering the question, or are you asking me?
Look, we were introduced at this bar called Firehouse 4 by our friend Dan Gelber, our mutual friend, who's now the mayor of Miami Beach, right?
Yeah, he kind of takes credit for it, but it was more like this. Dan, introduce me to that guy. Right, Dan, what? Oh, Marilyn John, and they walked off.
And then I got around to asking you out a couple months later. Is that about right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
That's where I remember that.
But I also remember that people kept sending me messages, and I kept saying, why doesn't he just ask me out? Well,
it was like fourth grade.
Right, yeah, it was. It was like fourth grade. I'm like, I don't understand. Why isn't he asking me out? Well, he's terminating a long distance relationship, and so he needs to have time to fly over there to terminate, and he doesn't want to ask. I'm like, I don't care, and they're like, no, and that's exactly what you did. You waited until, you made me wait like a month and a half, and I totally would have been fine with it.
Right,
but,
and then, much to my surprise, I had no idea that you had just finished a relationship of like 5 or 6 years with one of my teammates on the men's league basketball game.
Well, do a better background investigation.
I didn't vet all these guys. I didn't know. I just played hoop with them. I didn't really know.